Hey dolls, it's Kitty. How's it going? So today first off, I know I didn't do a video last week. I actually ended up in the ER all weekend. I'm fine. We kind of had a little scare with my pancreas and gallbladder. We were kind of worried, but I'm okay. I didn't need a gout or anything. But yeah, I was very tired after that, so I didn't do a video last week. And I know it's like every other week I have an excuse. I'm trying here, guys. So anyway, today I was on Den of Angels a couple days ago in the waiting room for Impledol, sorry. And one of the girls was talking about a Loongsoul body, getting a Loongsoul body for her head, and I was like, I have 2 Loongsoul bodies, they're really nice. And we were talking about it, and she kind of half requested, kind of half didn't, that I do a body review, slash kind of showing you guys how posable she is. And I thought that was really fun. So, to start off, dolly nudity warnings. This is going to be kind of a body review slash kind of posing demonstration. So anyway, I've got the large bust body right here. This is actually not a Loongsoul head. It is actually a Be Yours Spinalia tuber. And as you can see, her legs are a little bit kinky right now, but there's a reason for that. But so I won't be really doing much. As far as hybriding, this is actually a normal skin head on a white skin body. So, oh my gosh, Ellie, can you not? So this is actually Catherine's body. Ellie's just borrowing it until Catherine gets a body. Until Catherine's head comes. So anyway, let's get started. You had, with hybrids, you know, the head movement is going to be a little different. With this Be Yours head, it's got pretty decent movement. You know, she can look a little bit down, go from side to side. I feel like if she had some swaying, especially with this type of head, she'd be a little bit better with head posing, but not much. Okay, so as you can see, she's on a large chest. It's quite huge. I'll try to show it from the side. It is big. That's kind of what I wanted for Catherine, though. And I do have a small chest one as well, which is a lot smaller. It's almost completely flat. Luna's on that one right now, but she's really difficult to undress. She's got a lot of layers, so I just decided to do Ellie. Anyway, so I guess I'll start with the elbows and wrists. So as you can see, her shoulders will hold just about any pose you can put them in. I don't know if you can really see on my crappy webcam, but they do have these like scales almost. They're actually little ridges so that she can kind of, you know, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and usually this last one doesn't like to stick unless you have it in certain positions. But that's okay, you know, it is what it is. I actually really like that though. It's very useful when you want to do some posing like that. So yeah, it works very well. It's very functional. I do like it a lot. And then her elbows. She is double jointed, obviously, and as you can see, it's got like the little peanut piece with a really nice little elbow kind of thing. So these elbows are amazing. One of the best parts of the body. So there's the single jointed, which is already pretty impressive for single jointing, I think. You know, some single joints don't even go that far. And then you kind of have to pull it out to get the second joint to work, because if you look, it kind of goes inside of the arm. But with that, you can basically go all the way like this, you know, so she can obviously do some pretty amazing things with this wrist. She can obviously touch her face if you kind of combine it with that. And obviously, you know, no other doll I've seen can actually do that, though. And that's a pose I like to give Luna a lot because it looks really good on her. And let's go on to the wrists. It's just your average wrist, you know, just a ball attached to the hand. But this one, the channels are like really deep, which allows her to do some really amazing things. So she can basically stick her wrist at a right, she'll hold it. She can basically stick her wrist at a complete right angle, both ways. So, I mean, it's almost unnatural. But it's really nice, and it'll stay wherever you put it. Another issue I have with these is that this particular joint, if you don't pull it out, like, it'll tend to kind of want to snap either fully folded or out. There's not much in between with this one, but there is with this upper part. So anyway, very beautifully sculpted hands. They're just absolutely gorgeous. You can't see on my crappy camera, but there's a lot of detailing. It's really beautiful. This body in general is just beautifully sculpted. Anyway, so let's move on to the torso. It is a two-part torso. So let's start with the bust piece. I'm going to turn it over here. You could go pretty much all the way forward. And there are actually these ridges on the back. I can't remember if the front has them. We'll see in a second. So she can basically hold positions in any of those notches, really. You know, sometimes she just like to say it because she's pretty tightly strung. But, you know, if she were not as tightly strung, she could probably do a lot more with that joint. And then it goes pretty far back as well. So she can do a lot of slouching. And then combining it with this bottom joint, you can get some really crazy poses going on. So yeah, you can also go side to side really well, as you can probably see. That's about as far as it'll go either way. But again, combining that with the bottom torso, you can get some really crazy results. So the bottom part of the torso is also really nice. It does have kind of the classic ball that kind of clicks into places. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, there's like a little ball in there which helps her lock those poses. That's something this body is really good at, is locking poses. So if you push her forward, she doesn't go very far forward with that joint, without, you know, a little bit of weight and disjointing, but with that, you can do that. And that is some crazy slouching. Again, stuff that I've never seen other dolls do. So it's crazy. I mean, and she does just as good back. You know, she can do kind of demonic almost. You know, kind of pulling all the way back. Which is really amazing. I really, really love that. Now for the really, really weird part. The really only part I don't like about this body. She's got these weird butt joints. You can't really see very well. But instead of having like a thigh joint down here, she actually has these weird butt joints that are meant to help her sit. I hate them. They kind of just slide all over the place. They don't really do much as far as posing. They don't help her sit. They're basically just there to annoy me. I feel like they are really useless. They're ugly. I don't like them at all. They just don't work. I hate them. I mean, not much I can say about them. They're just really useless, really ugly, and really clunky, and I just don't like them. But anyway, as you can see, the channel for these are really, really deep, which really helps when you want to hold her leg up. So she can, I mean, if you were to like prop her up on something and had some good shoes for her to stand like this, I mean, she would just stand like this on her own. If you had, you know, something under here, like her leaning on a desk or something, I mean, she'll just hold this if you have something to hold it up. And as you can see, like, even right there, there is a little ledge in the back. I don't know if you can see that. That, kind of catches it. So she can just hold her leg out like this. Without, oh my gosh, without, you know, I'm not holding her or anything. And that's just because of that little ledge. And it's just amazing. I've never seen another doll be able to do that. You know, and it does it on both ends. I think this one's a little bit different. No, that one works too. So, like, if you had her in some good clunky boots that really help her stand, you could just hold her like this. And she would stay. Yeah, so let's move on to the knees. I know I'm going pretty quick, but I do want to get to kind of show you some poses that she can do. So her knee, there's the first joint, and then a lot like the elbows, the second joint kind of has to be pulled out or a little bit forced. You know, it can go to there, and then once you put it back a little bit, you know, there's that one notch, and then like that. And, you know, it's not as close if I like it, but I mean, if she's sitting, if she's kneeling, it works just fine. You have no problem. One thing I do dislike about these knees, though, is there's like a little ledge in this part. You can't really see it very well, but it sits right there, and I'm always afraid that if I, you know, I'm not really careful, like, I kind of have to pull it out a little bit, like that, because I'm really worried that it's going to kind of chip right there. Don't know if that's ever happened, but, you know, this is a very expensive doll, and I'd rather avoid that if I can. So yeah, I mean, it's fine. It poses really well, that's what matters, but yeah, just do get this body, kind of be careful, try to kind of pull it out. when you do that, just in case. I mean, the resin's very thick, so it shouldn't, but, you know, just better safe than sorry with really expensive dolls, am I right? So let's move on to the feet. The feet are a lot like their hands, where it'll just hold and point really well. A lot of times I've noticed you don't even need high-heeled feet sometimes. I do have a pair that are actually on Luna right now, but I mean, I've tried her boots on this body with the flat feet, and they're high-heeled boots, and yeah, she can wear them just fine. So, I mean, obviously your toe will be pointed, but I mean, you really don't need high-heeled feet unless you're getting, like, you know, actual high heels. Like, if you're just getting high-heeled boots, you can easily just, you know, put the foot like I have her right now, and just, you know, have her sit like that. So that's about it. I hope I didn't go too fast. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, as you can see right here, she'll just hold a lot of poses very easily without any real prompting. So let's kind of get into, let me try to get a little bit further away here. Let's try to get into some crazy things she can do. First of all, like I said before, I really love doing this. She can literally touch her own shoulder. I can only barely do that. So it is very nice to have that. And she can kind of touch her cheeks. And obviously, like I said, this arm will just hold pretty much any pose you put it in. Which is really nice. It's really nice when you're trying to take a picture of her and you kind of have to back away. You really don't have to worry with this body about it flopping or, you know, getting misaligned or anything. It'll stay wherever you put it unless, you know, you have it in a really precarious position. Which even then, it's very easy to keep them in that position. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the resin. She is in the environmental French resin, which is super soft, very silky, very nice. I've heard a lot of people compare it to Volks resin. I've never held a Volks. I kind of don't really like Volks, but that's a story for another video. But it's very soft. I actually really like petting her hands. It's wonderful. It's some of the best resin I've ever felt. Anyway, so like I said, she can hold her leg out like this. And one thing that I did discover is that if you use both of these, she can actually touch her forehead to her leg. What doll have you ever seen that you can even get close to holding this? It just baffles me. You know, obviously that's not really that useful, but it is something that she can do that's a little bit crazy. And it just blows me away. It is really amazing. And, you know, she can obviously, like, cross her arms if you kind of... One thing I've noticed is that this top joint here on the elbow can actually swivel. So you can actually swivel it and have her kind of cross her arms. You know, have her pull her arm across her chest and kind of touch her hips if you can really finesse it. And, you know, have her kind of cover her boobs. If you like that, you know. It's a lot easier if you kind of pull out that joint first and then try to do stuff like that. But I mean, sometimes I can get her to, like, completely cover her chest, like she's kind of like anime style. If you kind of finesse with her. She's not cooperating right now because I keep telling Ellie this isn't her body. So she's being a little bit bratty, but yeah, it's just an insane body. I totally recommend it to anyone. It's great for hybriding. The white skin, it's really hard to find a white skin that wouldn't match it, you know. It's very creamy and nice and pale. It has mellowed a bit, considering this is almost a 4-year-old body. Both of my bodies were around the same time, so they're both about 3-4 years old. So it has mellowed a little bit. You can't really see it on my really crappy camera, but they have mellowed and a little bit of yellowing, but it's really not that bad. It's really not that noticeable. Just really nice. And let's see what else I can get her to do. You can also do this and have her kind of kneel on your hand. And again, she will hold this. I'm just, as you can see, I mean, I could probably move my fingers and just do that, see? And she will hold that. And I mean, it's not that hard to balance her. You know, so with that, you can kind of almost get her to curl up. If you maybe had, you know, you use the butt joints a little bit and kind of finesse with it, you could definitely get her to curl up and kind of hug her knees, at least a little bit. Let me see if I can get her to do it. I know Luna, excuse me. I know Luna can do it. There we go. So you can kind of get her to, curl up, kind of go into fetal position. You do kind of have to have something holding these, because as you can see, it's almost a bit of a disjoint, even using those butt joints. But if you had something to hold her, she can literally just curl up, fetal position, hug her knees, without much fussing. It's just amazing. See, that's what I'm always afraid of. It is very loud, and I get really scared she's gonna break, which would be horrible. What else is there? I'm trying to think. But yeah, it's just a few things that she can do. She can do some really amazing stuff. I wish I could think of more poses to do. Like, you can kind of have her covering her crotch and stuff. She's just, it's a really wonderful body. I'm always saying that this is probably the best posability you're going to get on the market, and I definitely stand by that. And like I said, it's beautifully sculpted. You can't see it on my camera, but you can see she's got really nice curves, just a little bit. It's still a very thin body, but it's still, got that curve, got a really nice butt. And as you can see, she can stand in T-pose if you put her like that. But yeah, that's about it. This is almost a 16-minute video of me showing you guys. But I hope that helped, and I know I already did a video like this on my other channel, on my old channel, but I kind of wanted to do a different one now that I've kind of had the chance to really get acquainted with this body. So I really hope that helps, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back next week. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye!